So I'm recently single, and they say that there's someone out there for everyone, and I'm starting to feel that there's an odd number of people in the world. Miscounted, maybe? I don't have a lot of moves to put on the women. I have this one move that I've been working on, but it's not really ready. This is my one move. I see a pretty girl, and I look at her. And that's it. That's all I have. If she doesn't slip about I'm lost. I'm like, I don't know, I tried everything. Just a prude, I guess.
And you thought that clip was funny, you're gonna love this next one. Unless, of course, this bumper was the first bumper of the segment, then you haven't actually seen a clip yet. But that doesn't change the fact that you're gonna like the next one, or the first one.
I think my family upset with me, and you all tell me if I'm wrong. My mom called me a couple weeks ago and said that the family putting money together to help my 92-year-old grandfather get braces on his teeth. Not dentures, braces. I said, Mom, Granddad been looking like a jack-o'-lantern by the mouth since the 1940s, and now you all decide you want to get him some braces. She said, well, you know he always been insecure about his smile, you know. I'm like, but Granddad at 92, he only have like 3 to 5 more years tops to deal with that smile, man. I'm serious, like what we look like putting $5,000 worth of orthodontics in the ground just to fill somebody's bucket list. And the crazy part about all this, my granddad, he only has 8 teeth. 4 up top and 4 on the bottom, you know. Then he has these like really, really small teeth. You know, we get him braces that look like he has a zipper in his mouth or something, you know. I don't know, man. Had you all ever noticed too that funerals always bring out the worst in families? Because they always eventually end up fighting over the money. That's why I said I'm not getting a will and I'm about to cancel my life insurance. You know, because I don't want to be worth more dead than I am alive. Think about it. You die, you worth $500,000. Alive, you worth $74.83, you know. That don't add up to me. And wills and life insurance, they give your family members too much incentive to kill you, you know. You go to the hospital for a minor surgery, your spouse come in the room and say, Doc, me and the family already agreed. We want you to go ahead and pull the plug. Pull the plug? I came here to get my tonsils removed, man. Now, too, man, I'm starting to think that people on my job don't really care for me, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but it may be because somebody left a note on my desk saying we don't like you, you know. I walk through the hall, don't nobody tell me good morning, you know. And you know people on your job don't like you. Anytime you sneeze and don't nobody say bless you, oh, they don't care about you or your allergies, man. I'm gonna tell you how I really noticed that they didn't like me, because on everyone else's birthday, they get like a card, a potluck, something, you know. On my birthday, I didn't even get an email. Just one co-worker came to me and told me, you know, he was gonna plan me a potluck. He and I ended up being the only 2 people at the potluck. He brought Doritos and I brought ice, you know. Like, thanks a lot, Mr. Event Planner. You know, what we supposed to make, Dorito ice sandwiches or something around here, you know? Crazy. And you know, with stuff like this going on, I keep an attitude at work all the time, you know? Like my manager, he walked to me the other day and said, Marion, why aren't you working? I was like, because I didn't see you coming. Next time, knock on my brother Cube or something, you know? And I hate cubicles. Anybody here ever worked in a cubicle? I hate cubicles. Because you get no privacy. People walking by trying to see what website you on and who you emailing, listening to your phone conversation, you know. Like my cube mate, he told me, Mario, I wasn't listening to your conversation on the phone, but my brother can fix your car cheaper than the mechanic you was talking to. Like, if you didn't know it, listen to my conversation, how did you know something was wrong with my car, man? He do that all the time. I tell my friends jokes on the phone, he in the background laughing. That's a good one. Y'all use that one in your show. Punchline was not for you, man. Now, I hate irritating coworkers, you know. Like, don't you hate it when you get to work late and somebody tell you good morning, but really they trying to announce you late for work? Like, good morning, Marion. Was traffic bad on the 405? Traffic bad on the 405 every morning. That's why they call it rush hour. And you see me rushing to my desk, you know. Got all types of irritating coworkers. Like, we got this one guy, he burned popcorn every day, you know. And I had to tell him, like, look, if your simple mind don't know how to use a microwave, just stay away from it, man. It makes no sense that I got migraines every day because he got the whole office smelling like highway construction and stuff, you know. And I don't understand because there's a big button with a picture of popcorn on the microwave. All you gotta do is push the button. You know, what, you need a recipe or something? And then my manager, he keep on trying to get me to train him. You know, he always talking about training new people and like, what I look like teaching this little dumb boy everything I know, making myself less valuable to the company, you know? You want to learn to do what I do, you better go get you one of them for dummies books at Barnes and Nobles or something, you know? Because you keep asking me, I'm going to teach you how to upload a virus to the system. I try to get people fired, not hired, you know, I don't. Seriously. And now they're giving out these incentives right now for everyone to go green, you know, so we can conserve energy and help save the environment. Let me tell you something, my family's been going green my entire life. You know why? Because we couldn't afford expensive light bills. And sometimes the electric company would help my family go green. My parents were late paying the bill, so they were nice enough to just turn our lights off for us. Now the family's sitting around eating dinner by candlelight, you know. What I look like having a romantic meal with my little brothers and stuff, you know. They making toast with Kool-Aid to darkness, you know. Tell you, like, my dad, he was real strict about the electric bill, man. He did not want any unnecessary lights on. He'll yell at us, he'll open the refrigerator and yell at us like, why every time I open this door, the light on? Like, that's what it's supposed to do. Get control of your hypertension, you know. Then, you know, he wouldn't even let us microwave popcorn for a full minute. He said all we needed was a minute and a half. Now we walk around eating raw popcorn. A bag full of buttery kernels and stuff. And contrary to what you think, your stomach does not digest kernels. Do you know how scary it is to go to the toilet and see nothing but kernels floating in the water? It's serious, and that's something he complained about too, the water bill. He said me and my brothers was using too much water to flush in the toilet in the morning. No, he said, so from now on, when you all wake up, all three of y'all pee together. His motto was a family that pees together, bees together, you know. Hey, that's been my time. I'm Marion Kendrick.
You know, it's been said that brevity is the soul of wit. So, enjoy the next clip.
I originally come from Australia, been up here for a long time though, it's been about 14 years now. I find that you guys speak with a lot of effort. You put just so much effort into speaking. We're very lazy in Australia, including in our speech. So I'm gonna lay on the Aussie accent real thick for you guys here for a second, and I want you to watch my mouth to see how little I have to do in order to speak with an Australian accent. You ready? Okay, check this out. I'm gonna go eat a burger in my car at the park. See that? I barely had to open my mouth. Burger, car, park. You guys, what do you, stretch before you go out into the world? You're like, I gotta eat a burger in my car at the park. Whoa! Oh. Burger! Ow! Hey, here's something fun to do late at night if you guys are ever really bored. Go to one of those 24-hour grocery stores, and when you go in, find the most angry-looking cashier that you can. Go up to her and don't buy anything from her except for a cucumber and a big tub of Vaseline. And see who cracks first. Lots of cheap fun late at night. You're welcome. You're welcome. So I just flew down here today, actually, this morning. I'm a little jet lagged. I did just get back from Korea. I flew down from Vancouver this morning, though. I flew down on an airline that I actually work for. I have a part-time job as a flight attendant. And it's not really the most manly of gigs, is it? It's not. I remember when I was, it was by the way, one of those airlines that still does the safety demonstration where the flight attendants get up and still act it out. Not many do that anymore. My airline does that. And when I was first starting out with the company, I was so self-conscious of what everyone in the cabin would think of me, about my orientation. Not that it matters, but you know how guys are. We're self-conscious about that stuff, right? Especially on those Kansas City flights, or those like northern Alberta flights where the manly men are on the flight, like going to do manly jobs, like dig holes and get oil. And I'm standing at the front of the plane wearing a skirt, handing out pretzels. Then I felt the need to overcompensate during the safety demonstration so everyone would know I was straight. It was exhausting. I'd be like, okay, we have 2 emergency window exits located mid-cabin over the wings. 2 emergency doors at the front, 2 more at the back. Fasten your seatbelt. No, you can't have the whole can. Someone shut that baby up. It was exhausting. I hold a Canadian passport as well. I've got these way too much of a story to tell in 8 minutes, but I'll just give you the details. I do hold a Canadian passport. Something came to my attention recently that blew me away. I realized that the Canadian coat of arms, which is on the front of the passport, makes no sense. Has nothing to do with Canada, tells us nothing about the country. So based on this, I decided to do a little research because I'd never really thought about that too much before. Check out other countries' coat of arms to see if those made sense. For the most part, they do. The American coat of arms. On it, there's an eagle. He's got some kind of a shrubbery flying away. Great, we all know America's animal's the eagle. That makes sense. Australia's coat of arms also makes sense. On one side, there's a kangaroo. This is my kangaroo, Pasadena. I hope you like it. And on the other side, there's an emu. That apparently looks like Mick Jagger. Great, that makes sense. In Australia, we have both kangaroos and emus. Canada's coat of arms, not a word of a lie. I kid you not, on one side, there's a lion. For Canada, a lion with a mane. And on the other side, folks, there's a unicorn. A mythical beast. The only thing that tells me about Canada is that there's a lot of weed there. Because if you want to smoke weed, you're going to go to the country with the mythological winged, flying horned horse on that country's coat of arms, not to mention the African lion. It's ridiculous. I'm not really good at the dating thing. I tend to get a few dates in, screw it up. I'm a comic. I tend to make inappropriate jokes during serious times. It's just how I deal with those tense situations, you know? I was out with a young lady recently. We were maybe 5, 6, just hangouts, casual, you know? We happened to meet up with her mother for lunch, and we were talking about burgers. And I started telling this girl's mum about the Aussie burger, which if you don't know, same as a normal burger, but on it there's also a fried egg and a beet. Sounds messed up, it's actually delicious, but try it, honestly, if you get a chance. But I started telling this girl's mom about that, and she lost her mind when I started talking about beets. She was like, oh my God, beets, I love those things. And I don't know why this girl's mom has the voice of a homosexual man, but I've committed, and damn it, I will finish. She said, they're so good for you, you know, they're all purple, I chop them up, I put them in my salad. You know, I pickle my own beets. And that's when I felt it appropriate to say, oh, that's interesting, Mrs. Smith, that you pickle your own beets, because I beat my pickle. There was no 7th date, but I am dating her mother now, and that's going swimmingly. That's going well. I think it's great that you guys are out here supporting this sort of thing. This is a really cool thing to go out on a Wednesday to do. I love that. Stand up. You know, I like to go to the movies too. There's a movie theater around the corner. I just find that movies these days are being made for the sake of being made. There's no more classics anymore. You know, like you don't leave a theater going, oh, that was a classic. Like whatever happened to the good old days, like Kindergarten Cop? Huh? That little kid Dominic that was in the movie, that was a great movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger, by the way, has the easiest return to acting on the face of the planet because he can get away with saying that same ridiculous catchphrase for any emotion that he's feeling. If he has to play happy, he just has to go, angry, surprised, sick, he's having sex, who is your daddy and what does he do? I'm your daddy and I'll do you, yeah. Okay, little far. Okay, that's it for me, everybody. I'm Garrett Clark. Thanks a lot.
This next comedian is homeless and he pays his bills with laughter. So if you don't laugh, you're gonna get him evicted. I don't want you to feel bad, but just keep that in mind, all right? Enjoy the clip.
I'm from a huge family, though. I actually have 11 brothers. Like, it's a very multiracial family. This is gonna sound made up. This is the actual breakdown of my family. So my parents got divorced when I was 2. My mom and stepdad have been together since I was 4. My stepdad is black, and I have 2 black stepbrothers from his previous marriage. I have 4 adopted brothers who are black, 2 Vietnamese brothers, a Chinese brother, and 2 white brothers. And I'm just right in the middle age-wise. And like, since we grew up together, like, no one has any traces of racial stereotype. Like, everyone's just a blend of all the races, like the future will be, you know? Like everyone's into egg rolls and basketball. So, future is bright. Don't worry about global warming, we got it covered. So like, I don't get racial stereotypes when I hear them, though. It takes me a second to figure it out. Like, one time a dude told me a racist joke, and I just thought he was asking me a question. He goes, there's a black guy, a Hispanic guy, and an Asian guy in the back of a car. Who's driving? I was like, my mom? I don't know. Like when was this? Like, I need more information. Like, if it's a Tuesday, that's soccer practice, and that would be my mom. Like, if you need a ride, just say you need a ride. Like, you don't need riddles here. Another time, a comic friend of mine, he was writing a joke. He was like, dude, I need a Chinese stereotype for this joke. You have a Chinese brother, right? I was like, yeah, man, I got a good one. Like, they eat all the deviled eggs at Thanksgiving. He was like, that might be too specific. It's like, I'm not really sure if all the Chinese people are just going around gobbling up deviled eggs. I always try to avoid talking about my family in social situations too, because like, I always just get weird questions as soon as I bring it up. Like, the weirdest question I ever got, this girl just looks at me and goes, oh, so how does your family feel about racism? It's like, we're for it. Like, what do you mean? What are other people saying when you ask them that question? Like, but the most common question I get, though, is people will be like, what was that like in the house growing up with all the different races? And I only get that from white people, and it's from almost every white person who I tell about my family. And they're not asking in a racist way. I think it's kind of like an Angelina Jolie sort of, I might want one of those kind of ways. And I don't know how to describe, like, how do you describe your family in a few words to a stranger, like, especially if they're just normal to you? So I'm like, I don't know, it was probably just like your house, except with way more lotion in it. Like, I'm like, just picture your house, basically, but there's lotion and hot sauce on all the flat surfaces. And if you don't get that, you've just never been in a black household, is what it is. It's like my parents' house could double as a lotion buffet at this point, where, like, it's fun, like, when people come over who don't know, like, people get called out for, like, why are you putting that on your knees? That's neck lotion. They're like, there's neck lotion? Come on, man, don't be ignorant. Don't be ignorant. Also, it's like, how do people think I'm gonna respond to what was it like in the house? Like, they think just because there was different races in the house, there's a race war going on. Like, I'm gonna be like, well, it was a lot like Do the Right Thing. Like, mixed with a little swamp people. Just picture that. It's like, it's a family living in harmony. We love each other. It's not like I was accusing my stepdad of stealing all the good white women, you know? I grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood and went to like mostly black schools. So I had no white friends until I got to college. So growing up my whole life, I thought the lotion thing was universal. Like until I was 17, I thought everyone slathered their bodies in cocoa butter like 2 or 3 times a day. Like I just thought we were all fighting the war on ashiness. Like I thought that was the one thing we all had as Americans. I was like, we may not worship the same God, but we got the same skin, right? So freshman year in college, I got 5 other white guys in my dorm room. I just met these guys. We're playing Madden, and I paused the game to put cocoa butter on my elbows. And as soon as I hit the pump on the cocoa butter, everyone just gave me a look like, is he about to jail in here? They're like, I love defense too, but I'm not in love with defense. But nothing's weird to me, so I just keep going. I just start rubbing it on my elbows. And at this point, they're looking at me like, why is he putting it on his elbows? Like they're looking at me like I'm an alien who infiltrated their group. And that was like my big show that I wasn't one of them. Like it was as if they were like, hey dude, you want some pie? And I would be like, I would love some pie. And I just smashed it on my chest. So this is my favorite. I'm just rubbing it on my elbows. I was like, all right, man, if you don't want any, that's fine, man. If you don't look like you roll around a bag of flour, I'm gonna keep mine handled. Never saw those guys again. That was it. That was the end of it. Also, I have a gay brother. That's not funny, but this is. So he came out of the closet when he was 17. Meanwhile, starting at 15, this was his daily outfit. Every day, he would wear a scoop neck shirt, like cut just above the nipples, just begging for a nip slip type of shirt. Glitter on his chest, women's jeans, and furry women's boots. He wore that every day for 2 years without officially being gay. So it got to the point where whenever he said anything, we just assumed he was coming out. You know? Like we'd just be having dinner, he'd be like, hey mom, and she'd be like, we love you no matter what. He's like, I just want to know if I can have a ride to the mall. She's like, of course, and we love you no matter what. So just remember that in case you want to say something when you get back from the mall, okay?